What's up everyone, YuGiOh here. Today we're making a tier list of all the card games out there, at least the ones I know. Only ones I've played I will be ranking here, because it's unfair to rank a game you've never even played. Of course, if you want to see me play some of these games, make sure to follow me on Twitch, Stardustion, where I stream almost daily, playing a variety of card games like YuGiOh Mega Ranked, Hearthstone, you name it. I play a lot of card games on the channel. And of course also visit the Discord to talk about them. Anyways, today we'll be ranking all the card games that I've played. That I at least can think of. There's probably some I've forgotten because there's a lot of card games. I've decided to remove a few obvious ones like card games that aren't really card games. So yeah, we're ranking them from S to F, where F is unredeemable garbage. If a game is an F, it's pathetically bad. And S being really good, you probably should play them out. Try them out, play them out. Now, usually I do tier lists like this, more general gaming things on my Stardustion channel, which I think I also have a description, otherwise I need to update my description. And yeah, so let's dig into this. So starting off, we have the Pokemon TCG. It's a hard one to rank. I'm kind of in between the E and F tier. I'm probably gonna go with E tier, saved by the Pokemon cards that actually, based on Pokemon, they look good. And yeah, mostly just their art in general, and of course the Pokemon IP having a lot of nostalgia to it. Especially the online game is completely trash and terrible. It's probably one of the worst platforms out there. The physical card game is literally coin flips. Like, there's literally effects out there that state, flip a coin until you flip tails, attack that many times. It's a literal coin flip if you do no damage at all, or basically OTK your opponent. Like, people often trash talk Hearthstone for having a lot of RNG. But have you played Pokemon? Pokemon's insane with RNG in a bad way. Now, of course, if that's what you enjoy, hey, go for it. I just think it's a completely terrible game, and I will never ever play it in my life again. Talking about completely terrible games that I will never play in my life again, Gwent, F tier. Not even have to think about that. Tried it out to stream. What a terrible game. I mean, sure, if you're a fan of Witcher, you probably enjoy it a lot, but as somebody who has never played Witcher, trying this, it's terrible. There's no real battle phase, you just play cards, your opponent plays cards, and the one with the coolest board wins. Yeah, there's no real interactions and stuff. Kind of a mediocre game. Moving on, big one immediately. Magic the Gathering. I've had some experience with Magic, not that much. Played Sneak, had the Xbox version of the game, which was an accurate version. And I tried out Arena for a really short bit. But from what I've seen, the art is nice, it's a classic game. I'd rank it about B tier, it's pretty good. My biggest issue, which would otherwise make it A tier for me, is the mana system, the way they handle the mana system. Now, inherently, a card game probably should have mana, otherwise you're gonna get a mess of a card game. But they decided to do it in the form of land cards. You basically need to draw your mana and build to your deck. And that's just something I don't like, that's why I put it in B tier. Still think it's a pretty good card game, and yeah, that's why it's in B tier for me. Next up we have Cardfight Vanguard, and I also put Zero on here, which is like the mobile adaptation. Ranking the actual card game is a bit tough, since I've only played it on release. I don't know how well the game aged. That said, I think I'm gonna place it around C to D, probably C. It's, once again, just like Pokemon 2, RNG filled. There's a lot of RNG in Vanguard. You have these things called triggers. If you get attacked, or if you attack, you basically need to check the top card of your deck. And if it happens to be a trigger, you gain some bonus effect. It's literally just luck sacking the game. If you top deck the right card, you win the duel. If you don't, you lose. There's a bit too much RNG on top of inherently being a card game, which I don't like. But the art is great. They have all kinds of art styles with their own playing styles. Yeah. So I think a C tier is justified. They have no mana and still are balanced. That's something you don't see often. Yeah, in general, I think it's a pretty cool game. So that's Cardfight Vanguard in C tier. Vanguard Zero. Probably just gonna rank it the same. Maybe towards B tier. It's a pretty good adaptation of the game. Their biggest mistake is not creating a PC client. Having to play it on your phone. It's a bit annoying if you ask me. It's meh. It's also not that active due to that. At least the fanbase isn't that big. It's a Vanguard thing in general, it seems. There are some people that certainly enjoy it, but they're not the majority of people at all. But the mobile game is pretty generous with its rewards. You actually get rewards for ranking high, yeah. Exactly, that's rare in these type of games sometimes. Usually rewards for ranking high in a season are low. And you get a lot of packs from the get-go. You can craft almost any card in the game, which is also really nice, and it's a feature that's not in every card game, sadly. Yeah, in general, it's a very decent card game. I don't dislike it. It's especially the art is really nice in this game for the cards. Except we have Clash Royale, which is a bit of an outsider here. You might debate if it should belong here or not. I'm gonna say yes, it belongs in here since it is a card game. A lot of people hate this game for being one of those mainstream stupid mobile games, which... I mean, I kind of understand. I don't fully agree, but I understand where those people are coming from. But yeah, Clash Royale... I'd give it an A tier, which is pretty high. It's high so far, which will confuse a lot of people. But it's a perfect game for mobile. Short, like 3-minute matches. Not really pay to win either. I mean, it's a mobile game, they need to earn money. Come on, be fair. And just in general, it's an enjoyable experience. It's a unique type of card game. It's different from the others on this list, in a good way, I think. So yeah, A tier for me. I've been recently really enjoying it. Next up, we have YuGiOh Duel Links F tier, no debate. I don't think this... Yeah. So, the biggest issue with Duel Links is the new player experience. I think YuGiOh Duel Links is one of the worst new player experiences out there. So, if you want to pick up YuGiOh Duel Links, you need to go to Duel Monsters. You need to get to stage 30, which is quite a grind. Get to stage 11 and all the other worlds beside Dark Side Dimensions, which are just going to be more and more. You need to do about 150 duel quizzes if it isn't more, which is just duel puzzles. After that, you got to do like 140, 130 tile deck duels, which are duels with predetermined decks that you don't get to customize. Some of them are really bad, like the worm one. You might need to do like 4 or 5 times to win with it because it's just badly built. After all that, you can finally start playing the game. Then there's the events. Although a few of them are decent in theory, in practice, a lot of the time, literally just, okay, get some keys, duel this guy 30 to 40 times, congratulations, you beat the event. And sometimes you can't even auto-duel, because the entire game is based around auto-dueling. It's basically like cookie clicker. Just press a button and let the game play for you. And, oh boy, PvP. Yeah, the PvP, it's a huge issue that it's cross-platform. Like, theoretically, having a PC and mobile client sounds like a good thing. But the thing with Duel Links is that some people have such slow internet, and they barely get punished for it. You just have outright 180 seconds for your entire turn. They don't limit you per move. Some people take literally a minute to normal summon a minute monster and pass. Yeah, Duel Links is probably the worst experience you can find in a card game out there, honestly. Wouldn't recommend this to anyone. Even a dedicated YuGiOh fan, don't go for it. Slay the Spire. I think I'm putting this... Yeah, I think I'll go for S tier. I think this one actually deserves the S tier. Now, a lot of these are free to play. Slay the Spire you have to purchase on Steam. But it's basically a roguelike deck builder. For those that don't know what the term means, roguelike basically means you start a playthrough and you build up your, usually in RPG, your character on the way through. You get all kinds of drops and stuff. This is the same except you build a deck. You pick up cards on the way there, you have different characters you can pick from. It's a lot of fun, and also stream this quite a lot. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite card games out there, and it's really, really good. Next up, Hearthstone. It's hard to play this one, there's a lot of negative things about it, there's a lot of positive things about it. But with all the new recent ways to get cards, with the new Battle Pass system, which actually works well. People sometimes criticize Battle Passes, but in Hearthstone it just gives you a lot of extra rewards. With the ability to craft any card. I think it's not that bad of a pay-to-win game in general. Of course, there are certain elements of pay-to-win in it, like any digital card game, probably. Almost all of them, at least. But there's a huge variety in classes. At the top, it's usually poorly balanced. But if you're like a mid-level player, if you're just casually playing, I think Hearthstone is A tier. B tier if you're going full competitive, because there's going to be a very few meta decks that are probably going to be real expensive. But yeah, Hearthstone, I'd say an A tier. Next up we have Legends of Runeterra, and I think that's another S tier. So this is the card game for League of Legends. Now, the greatest thing about Legends of Runeterra is basically its business model. This is one of the few games that actively limits how many cards you can purchase in a day. They literally want to be like, hey, chill, you can just get all cards normally, don't pay too much money. It literally has a system in it against paying too much, like, that's a rare thing. And in general, it's very easy to get cards. I've played for 2 weeks, and I've almost been able to... And by the way, I don't play that actively. I've been playing the game on and off for 2 weeks and almost completed an entire deck. It's very easy to get cards. You get a lot of free cards. Usually the cards you get, a lot of them at least, are wild cards. Meaning you can basically select the cards you want, any common, any rare. You can craft any card. It has very unique mechanics as well. You have these champions, instead of regular minions, they can level up. And when they level up, they gain new abilities. You basically play simultaneous turns, which also works really well. It's an interesting new take on card games, and it's definitely one of the better card games out there. Now we have Neoverse, is basically a worse version of Slate the Spire. With 3D models and stuff, so you might look it up on Google if you're burnt out from Slate the Spire and want a similar card game. This could be for you. I've played it a bunch, I've enjoyed it. It definitely has a lot of flaws. Better off getting this in sale because this also isn't free. But it can be a fun experience if you enjoy Slay the Spire. Neoverse is basically a worse version of a really good game. Shadowverse, I think I'm just gonna go with a D tier here. I don't think it's that great. Based on the information I've gotten from other players to actually play the game, based on my little experience with the game, it's just a Hearthstone clone with a few quote-unquote interesting features. But in the end, the game is just disappointing in general. You hear all this hype about it, you go and try it, it's not that great, at least from what I've experienced. Now, some people might disagree with that, but yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad game, I just think it's a worse version of Hearthstone, or at least a cloned version of Hearthstone. It doesn't bring enough to the table. There's some cool, interesting mechanics, the art style is something you might like. I just don't like it. Feel free to disagree, but yeah. Next up we have Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and I'm also going to put this one in the S tier, one of the holy three. What is Hearthstone Battlegrounds? So, it helps visualizing if you know a game like Teamfight Tactics or Auto Chess. But basically, instead of straight up playing a card game, you hire minions to fight for you. Then you place them on the board, and you get to put against an opponent. And yeah, they basically automatically start attacking after each other, until one player has no minions alive. I hope the background noise outside, by the way, isn't too bad. Somebody's just mowing the grass. Middle of recording, 12 minutes recording, thanks. Yeah, it should be fine. But yeah, Battlegrounds, very great game. I've played a lot of Battlegrounds. And I'm waiting for the new patch, basically, mostly. I do stream it occasionally. But it's a lot of fun. The best part about Battlegrounds is that you can play it with your friends. And if you have a nice friend group, I did, it doesn't even matter if when you're eliminated, because it's basically, you play for the top 8, it's an 8-player game mode. Because you can just watch others and have fun as well. And like, backseat game them. I know, it's a really great social card game, and I think that's one of a kind. What other card game can you play with a group of friends? Sure, you can play something like YuGiOh, but you're gonna get 1v1, or gonna have to find some kind of scuffed rule set for bigger duels than that. An actual card game to play as a group, basically together as a friend. Yeah, Battlegrounds is your best bet. Now, basically we have 4 YuGiOh games left. That's why I decided to grab the Battlegrounds one. I noticed there are a few YuGiOh games left. By the way, I didn't sort that way intentionally. Let's start with Speed Duels. I think this one deserves the F tier. This is the biggest money milking scheme from Konami in a long, long while. Now, inherently the format might not be too bad, but the way they went in the TCG about things disgusts me and should disgust anyone. Some people protect it, which I think is disgusting. Seriously, if you're a YouTuber and you're defending Speed Duels, huge fucking yikes from my side. So, what's the big deal with Speed Duels? Well, I'm putting it in F tier. Simple. It's a card game, you play with your hero cards. But you have to buy special Speed Duel cards, which have a Speed Duel logo on them, to play the game. And that alone is a no-go. You literally have existing YuGiOh cards, but you can't use these. You need special Speed Duel versions of the same cards. What does this mean in practice? You can take a card like Amazonas Village that costs 5 cents, because we help plays Amazonas, and print it for a secret rare for 20 bucks. No, that's just a really scummy business model, and I really don't like what they did with Speed Duels. And besides that, it's just a scuffed version of YuGiOh, which in general isn't that great. I don't enjoy it, some people do. Hey, you do you, I don't enjoy it. YuGiOh BAM, this is an old game, and I'm actually gonna rank it C tier. Now, not a lot of people might know this, it's an older game. Let me quickly look something up and then put it on the screen to show you guys a bit of an impression. But it's basically a YuGiOh Duel Links before Duel Links was a thing. Sick, I didn't want to go to this site, but yeah, actually, fair enough. But yeah, it's basically a different card game. Here you can see the field, similar to Speed Duels. So the way it worked is, you both place cards in each column, they attack each other, unless they have like a skill that allows one to attack you first. And you have of course a back row where you can play spells. Your hero had health, and yeah, you just had to destroy your opponent's health. Now, the big issue with YuGiOh BAM was that it was very pay to win, but the basic idea was very cool. It's basically a card game based on YuGiOh, with way simpler effects. Like, that's one of the things why I think it's great. YuGiOh nowadays, I mean, who doesn't know it right now? YuGiOh nowadays is a lot of fun. You have a 30-minute match, 40 minutes. Okay, your opponent summons Endymion. Go and read this. You have 40 minutes for the entire match, best of 3. And you need to read cards like this. Yeah, good luck. Way too much goddamn text on a card. Meanwhile, YuGiOh BAM. You know, Ace Jet 50 Earth. If you know what Ace Jet is, boom, okay? Shock 12 Earth. If you know what Shock does, boom. You know? And sometimes they have special abilities that you need to read, but outside of that, it was a very easy to manage card game because you actually knew what the cards do. And it was just a unique twist. They basically created a great game with YuGiOh cards. Now, sadly, the game is shut down. It was quite pay to win, which is why rank it's a bit lower, otherwise it would have been ranked higher. But yeah, it was a fun, unique take on YuGiOh. I mean, Duel Links initially also was fun, but it just grew to be a bad game. Rush Duels. I think this one I'll place like C or B tier. I'll probably do C tier. Actually, B tier is more justified. So, this is basically Konami realizing, okay, we fucked up with YuGiOh TCG. Let's do a soft reboot with a new rule set. One based on actually having fun and having back and forths. And they did a great job at that. The new cards look pretty. The biggest issue why I don't rank it that high is that we don't have a way to play it in the TCG. I mean, you can play in Adam Pro and stuff, but yeah. YuGiOh Rush Duels have a lot of potential if they actually import them to the TCG as physical cards. That could be great. But yeah, we don't know if they will do that. I think Rush Duels in general are quite cool. They're just some reference to the original card game, but a lot of original designs that also are very cool. And yeah, in general, it's just a more fun YuGiOh. Finally, YuGiOh trading card game, FT or no debate. YuGiOh as a card game is fucking trash. The only reason I still quote-unquote play this game is because of legacy formats, which can be alright, but there's no official support for those, so I'm not counting that for YuGiOh. And yeah, because I'm a content creator. That's the only reason I'm still involved with YuGiOh. I think YuGiOh once was a very good game. Let's talk about the very far past stance here. Okay, the crash mode thing is moving close, so I hope it's not too loud. But yeah, YuGiOh once was a great game, but that's so long ago now. This game has been ruined by Konami's greed, power creep, just bad formats in general, and almost feature creep. Like, there once was a time where if a monster destroyed a spell or trap card, it was ban-worthy, or at least got limited. Nowadays, monsters just have too many effects. Look at something like Appaloosa. You can negate 4 monster effects with a single monster. Yeah, okay, you need 4 monsters to summon it, but still in the end that's not going to be okay when you have links that summon other monsters from the deck. And literally make it impossible for you to play. Now, if you look at the competitive game, it's somewhat fine, somewhat keeps itself in check. Especially at casual levels, it's a hell. You literally have cards like the Nibiru that say, oh, you special summon 5 times. Your entire field is gone. And if you're playing a somewhat less strong deck, that just means you lose the duel there. Literally without a chance to respond. Because that's the issue with YuGiOh TCG. There's no mana system. So you can just go balls to the walls turn 1. And in the end that creates a very unhealthy game. Now it can be occasionally fun to play legacy formats because the game was great in the past. But poor mismanagement by Konami has created the YuGiOh TCG nowadays. That's just not very fun. And don't even get me started on how pay to win and how expensive YuGiOh is. With cards like Lightning Storm that are no rarity, no OCG, that don't cost that much there. Being printed for like $80 here in the TCG. Now of course you can buy sealed product and not pay single prices. But yeah, TCG product is a scam, so I wouldn't do that. So I think this is about an accurate tier list of card games. Ironically, 3 out of 4 F tier card games are YuGiOh. Konami really needs to step the game up. Master Duels are coming. Are they gonna fix anything? No, I doubt it. But time will tell. You know, I'm open to change. I'll see if it's getting good. But yeah, this is my tier list for variety card games. Lots of card games on there. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, well, that's a shame. If you want to see more variety content, follow my Twitch. I do play a lot of card games on there, even Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, even Yu-Gi-Oh! But also stuff like Slate Spire, Legend of Runeterra, Hearthstone. Hey, that's weird. Basically, this is all the card games I play on stream. What a coincidence. It's like I pick the ones that I enjoy and play those on stream. Yeah. I mean, I guess Yu-Gi-Oh! I also kind of play on stream, but besides that. Literally, the ones that I like the most are the ones I stream. Which is kind of a coincidence, I didn't plan it out like that. But yeah. That's my ranking of all the card games I've tried and played. Of course, there's gonna be plenty of card games I've never played. No people will get salty with Yu-Gi-Oh! Ranking lowly. Your game just isn't good anymore. Seriously, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player that only played Yu-Gi-Oh!, try some of these games out. Well, maybe not Clash Royale, you might probably not like it. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players I know don't like it. But try Slate Spire if you can. Try Legend of Runeterra. Try Hearthstone. Maybe try even Magic. Try Vanguard. Try some good card games instead of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you'll see you might actually have fun. So yeah, that's gonna be my list. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flame for this, probably. I expected to kind of get some backlash. But yeah, this is my honest tier list. Now, I still have a soft spot for Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is something a lot of questions might be arrive. Like, why do you even make content Yu-Gi-Oh! But that's legacy formats and some of the older anime. Current card game, couldn't care less about, but I still do enjoy doing reviews, so those will not go away. Yeah, that's the video. Have a beautiful day. Peace.